Where's it all gone? So I'm moving. I've packed up all of my equipment. The bedroom parts and that stuff is going next week. And yeah, it's crazy. So I've been living in this place for the last 3 years. And I started looking on my computer maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years. It's somewhere in between there. And yeah, like it started here. There's some parts of the carpet that I haven't seen for like all that time. It's a pretty massive room, and like a goldfish, I did expand to that with a lot of junk, as you can see in a lot of videos. I'm quite happy with what I managed to get done in this place in that amount of time. Like all of the machines that you've seen were actually built in this room in the last like 2 years, except for the flamethrower organ that was actually built in my mum and dad's driveway, because you can't set fire to a classroom. So yeah, I've had a lot of questions about where I live and like, why is this so big? I must be loaded or something. But it's not actually the case. So this is a whole classroom. I've never lived in something so big. And something that will probably surprise you is this costs less than living in a flat share in London. And I'm in London. Since I'm moving, I can talk about it a bit. Surprisingly, this is in the middle of East London. It's directly opposite an underground station. It's a whole classroom that is massive, and I'm paying way less than some people that I know who have a room in a flat share that's probably just big enough to fit your bed in. Well, how did I manage that? I must be really lucky or something. Well, no, actually, there's loads of places like this. They're all just unoccupied commercial buildings in the middle of London. And no, I'm not squatting, I'm a guardian. I'm a property guardian. So what that is, instead of the owners kind of paying for security, you know, 24/7 to stop people breaking in and breaking stuff, they get some people to move in and live in it. And then it's a mutually beneficial situation, because you're stopping people from breaking in and you're stopping things like floods and leaks and stuff in the building going wrong. And in return, it's very cheap and you get a really big space. I found this out from a girlfriend and her friends who were moving into this old people's home in Tottenham. So I decided to be like, yeah, screw it. It's really cheap. I'm just going to move in there because I can't actually afford any flats or any other places in London. And now I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm like, why would you rent when you could just be a property guardian? Okay, for instance, like the kitchen is the kitchen that was in the office. So it's a bit of an office kitchen and you've got to share toilets. But really, does that really matter? I mean, look at the space you get. Like, I'm like, what the heck? I'm just amazed that more people don't do this instead of renting. Like if you're saving up for a house or something, why don't you just move into one of these places? So basically I'm moving because my girlfriend's actually sick of living in the same place that all of my studio is in, and she's sick of seeing and hearing different inventions and machines just going off nearly 24/7. So it's time for us to move on. I had a look on the internet for places that were as big as this, and yeah, the rent is in between like 1,500 quid and 2 grand. That's more than 4 times what I'm paying right now. So now I'm moving and we're actually going to get another guardianship in a...
Hello!
So now we're moving, we're going to get another guardianship in another old people's home that's just for like the bedroom and stuff. And then I've got a studio space now. The company that I've been a property guardian with for this amount of time is called Global Guardians. And yeah, it works. I haven't actually found a reason to change. So there's a couple of little downsides, like if the building needs to be used again, you've got 30 days to move out. So they tell you, and then in 30 days' time, you need to be moved out. And that could be any time, but you know, whatever, it happens. Sometimes that's the case with normal properties. But the other side of that is also, if you want to leave anytime, you say, and then 30 days later you can move. And you can even move to other guardianships in different cities and towns and stuff, because there's plenty all over the place. And if it's in the same company like Global Guardians, which I've done 3 times now, it's really easy. You just say, and I'm going to move, and then you move. So if you were in London and you think you're paying too much rent, I think it would be crazy not to look at guardianships as an option. The fact that I had this much room and it was cheap enough for me to, you know, not have to work overtime all the bloody time just to afford a fancy shower and ensuite kitchen and all that crap. I've been able to have time and space to build loads of crazy things and kind of like follow a dream. Yeah, and in London, which is really expensive, I kind of see guardianship as a kind of tool for freedom. It's like freedom tokens. Like, if you want to move, you can move. if you don't stay. So this over here is my new studio workshop space. Whoa. Jesus. So this part isn't actually the guardianship. The guardianship we're living in, this is something else entirely. But let's go and have a look. I've only been here a couple of days, so it's still work in progress. But as you can see, because of the shape, it's been like thought out better. So there's like different parts with like loads of stuff all over the place, which hopefully will add to the videos. But who knows? Let's see. My mate Sim had a spare drum kit. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet because I can't really play. I'm thinking here as more of like the presenting bit. I only realised when I was moving the stuff into the van that I have so much crap. I kind of like to think I blend in a little bit. It's called junk camouflage. And of course in this bit, pride of place, the Furby organ, it was a bit hidden before, so like now, this bit I'm thinking more of like the talk and build section. As you can see, because Maplin's shut down, I managed to get all of their back like storage boxes for pretty damn cheap. Even got a spool holder, look at that, I'm going proper organised. But yeah, this is where we're going to be talking more about electronics and stuff, I guess. I'm going to try and find a chalkboard and put it there so I can draw stuff out, and maths, even though I don't really know maths. To the point that I thought there was 44 Furbies on this Furby organ, when there's actually 45, and that's in the Furby video, and I can't edit it out, which makes me look really quite stupid. And over here is this amazing homemade Eurorack modular synth that got sent by Peter Hess, whose eyesight sadly isn't as good as it used to be, so he decided to send it to me to conserve this stuff. A couple of little bits here and there need fixing, which I'm doing now, and then I'm going to do a video on that, as well as a couple of other donations. I'm going to try and make some music out of them all. It'll be quite interesting, but that'll be coming soon, along with a load of other videos. I'm going to be finished setting up in the next couple of days. Now I'm going to start filming a couple of new ideas, and yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. This section's still a bit of a work in progress. This is going to be the studio jam section, where we're going to be doing like the live streams for Patreon, and of course all the performance and stuff like that. I mean, most of it might get moved around here and there, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit funky. It's pretty high on the ceiling, so I'm going to try and get a shot from down on like a, and there's a projector that's going to project live like modular video synthesis, mainly the LZX Cadet range and video, and there's a video coming on that soon as well. So as you can see, I've got my work cut out for me. I've got to do a bit of sound treatment in the form of carpets, none of that expensive stuff. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what can be done in here and what can be achieved. So this is the next generation of Look Mum No Computer. I guess you could call it another generation because it's in a new place, slightly different vibe. Maybe more slidey shots like this. Maybe not, maybe not. Oh God, I'm gonna keep on going away. It used to be a car garage, so there's a couple of oil stains on the floor and there's some oil sprayed all over the walls, but I think that adds to the character. It adds to the character. I think it's a lovely colour. It's like an off-white that's just been years of car dust. I don't know. This move probably wouldn't have been possible without Patreon, so I've got to thank everybody supporting me on Patreon, because this is a bit more expensive because obviously I've got two different places, but I think this will be better because I'll be able to, you know, just make bigger things hopefully. So yeah, in the coming weeks I'm going to be doing a live stream on Patreon in this new place. The second I've got it all finished and sorted, I'm going to decide a date and I'm going to put it in, as well as, yeah, all the videos. Hopefully you'll see the first video, except for this one, in this place within the next week. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. I kind of jumped in this without thinking. Thinking's for afterwards. You make the decision first, you think about it later. So I'm doing some thinking now, and yeah, I've been Look Mum No Computer, and see you later.